All right, today we're breaking down a roll between me and one of my blue belts. He's tough, athletic, over 50, and doesn't mind giving it a go. I'll be giving commentary on the decisions that I make, mistakes, and little tricks that I use to stay in control, especially as an older grappler. So here you see us starting with a little bit of stand-up work, and one of the things we've been working is, making sure if we're going for a takedown, we don't want to overcommit our actions, and especially if you haven't wrestled or grew up wrestling, you don't want to start necessarily by shooting him for doubles and singles. You want to start by controlling the hand fighting game. So he tries to go for the Sotogari here. And one of the things that you see when people go for that outer reap right there, that Sotogari, is a lot of times they'll half commit to it, which basically opens them up for the exact same throw. So I went ahead and I played along with it and I let him get the follow through. But there's some conversations we've had in the past too when I said, hey, look, be really mindful if you're stepping through but not committing and off-bouncing your opponent first. You're leaving yourself in a vulnerable position that can get countered with the same exact throw.
As you step back, look down at the mat. So I'm going to toss it.
So here you can see I've highlighted this area, and this is one of the things we've talked about also in the past where I'm trying to show him, like, hey, you have a lot of excess space here. You need to shut this hand down. So you can see he actually does recognize it eventually, and he'll pull that knee through. He'll slide up and shut that arm down. Here we see he goes to shift, and unfortunately he gives up that position, which he had just fought so hard to get by letting me bring that hand in, and then I got the far side underhook as well. Another common concept we've been working in is the first person to get their hips up wins. And you can see here, he does a good job of getting his hips up, but the problem is he gets it right up into a half rather than stepping up into something like a full mount if he can clear it. Or if he sees that I'm going to look to re-guard or half guard with it, just don't commit to that. So here you see I've got the far side underhook with the left hand, and that right hand is trying to control his grip, so his ability to post on the ground. And I'm going to go ahead and switch my feet, my outside legs, and I'm going to shoot inside with an inside hook. I'm going to use that to elevate and get like a little half butterfly sweep. And one of the biggest reasons I got that is because he was stationary with this position. He didn't battle for that underhook. He didn't try to get me flat on my back. He didn't try to regain that top half guard position. So one of the things that jiu-jitsu should show you after you reach a certain level, you going blue belt to purple belt, something like a headlock, while it may have its uses, anecdotally, not a good idea to try to hold onto somebody's head from the bottom position. Never winds you up somewhere good, generally speaking. And a lot of you may already know Mitch from probably my most popular video on YouTube. I'll link it below right here so you can see it. One of the problems that you'll run into with blue belts, and I think this is the case here, is a lot of times they'll get to a position, say work really hard to get to the top, wherever it is, but in this case it's mount or technical mount, which you had before. They don't take the time to cement the position. There's no letting their opponent cook. It's just advancing to the next position. So this was a great opportunity here for him to just put a little pressure on, recover, breathe a little bit, and not have to be so defensive. And remember, if you're a smaller grappler and you're rolling with somebody that's bigger than you, that you're giving up a lot of size and strength, if you're a mount, that's just a moment in time before you're going to get rolled. So his mindset here should be he's ready to transition to a knee on belly or switch sides at any given moment if I start to bump or start to create a little hip escape here. And here you see Mitch is way too committed to the upper left quadrant, which would be my far side shoulder as he's driving, and the position made him ripe for being rolled. There goes that bottom headlock again. Look, as a general rule of thumb, if you have somebody that's on top of you and they're looking to smash, you generally want to frame and create space and move yourself or move them away from you. By grabbing onto the head, it just pulls them onto you even more. Here he does a really good job of finally turning back in instead of leaving his back exposed. And it's really good to see him working this. One of the things we've been working on is isolating the head and arm, especially of a bigger opponent, from a position where they can't involve their hips and legs as much. And you can kind of isolate the weakest parts of them, primarily get the head framed out and looking away from you, and separate an arm from them. He would have had this armbar about 5 seconds ago if he had simply looked to rotate to break my grip and the body's natural power alignment and then straighten out for that armbar. And there he got the armbar, didn't even see it coming. Thanks for watching, everybody. If this video resonated with you, you got anything out of it, share it with a training partner. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. Can't believe we finally burst through that 1,000 milestone, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.